what has the growth and success of your organizations meant for the communities that you work with? And also just tell us, what have you been up to? We'll start with Sanskriti.
Right. Thanks, Eliza. I'd like to share an anecdote. So I've been working in the field of Braille literacy and specifically building technology to make that more scalable and accessible for about a decade now, been more than 9 years. And every time I pass through airport security, whatever prototype I'm carrying is always flagged saying, okay, hey, what is this? What are you carrying? Why does it have a pointy stylus with it, etc. And that's basically been almost my entire adult life. And now, last year when we came on Shark Tank India, my entire team, whenever we fly anywhere in India, the airport security recognizes our product before we don't even have to explain anything. And that kind of awareness around assistive technology, around the kind of potential that having the right foundational literacy and numeracy can unlock, mainstreaming those conversations at regular families' dining tables. I think that's the biggest change that I've seen happen in the past 1 year in terms of mainstreaming those conversations. What does it mean, for somebody to be Braille literate? What does it mean for them? I think a lot more stories are coming up of how our students are using the technology and the stories told in their words. So having that be a part of our collective mainstream consciousness is a huge, huge step towards changing perceptions.
Tell us a little bit about the design process and any sort of redesign that needs to go into working across different languages and different contexts. And you just launched in the United States, which is great. But yeah, tell us a little bit about that and how it works.
Well, Braille is a script. So just like English and French and German, they all have pretty much the same Roman script. And so if you learn how to read ABC, you'll be able to recognize the characters in French, even if you can't read French. So similarly, Braille has 6 dots, sometimes 8 dots per character. And every country and every language has their own Braille code. So we have different content localization, but that is translation plus contextualization. So in English, for example, I'd say A for apple. But in Hindi, you don't say sir, say sab. You don't use the exact same object. You don't draw on the same structure to build up your idea of the alphabet. So a lot of those things also we work with local experts. In the US, we've partnered with American Printing House, which is a 150-year-old organization based in Kentucky. And this is what they do. They work with children and teachers all over the country to deliver the best educational aids. So our US variant, Polly, has actually, it has US accent English, first of all. Then it has phonics in terms of how to teach the actual alphabet. Then there are, I think, Jack Hartman audio songs, which I'm told are very, very popular in the US. And in fact, the US redesigned, in fact, the contextualization has turned out to be such a huge success that our first batch of 400 has been sold out in just last 1 week. So there is a lot of contextualization that goes in for that.
That's awesome. Final question, because time is flying by. What advice do you have for aspiring social innovators, and your peers that are here today, that you would leave for everyone before we close?
All right. I'd just like to say, don't hold back from dreaming big. I think that's been my one takeaway after spending this week with solver teams from all around the world. The world is changing. We are changing it, and so there's no dream too big for anyone who's looking at even applying. Because if you get in, you'll get all of this help and support that I'm sure everyone's gone through. But most importantly, the community of like-minded folks that are just as passionate and crazy to some extent to work on the things that they're fired by.